Hey guys, Doug the Retirement Guy here. Got some great announcements here. Roundhill just released to us their dividends for next week. We're excited to announce it. It's a lot of big changes. That's why we're going to jump in with a quick video to you guys. But this is basically the weekly dividend riches, all 15 of the weekly pay ETFs that were announced. So we're going to get into this real quick. I first got to shout out to all the Patreon guys. We did post this already on the Patreon for everyone to see. It's a benefit of being on one of the Patreon supporters. And we thank you for all of that. We also thank all the new subscribers hitting records every single day, and all of our past subscribers, welcome back. If you're not a member, hit that button, join. Let's get into today's information. Notice to all viewers, past performance does not guarantee future results. The information provided in this video is for educational and informational purposes only. Should not be considered financial or investment advice. You should always contact a professional before making any financial decisions. So let's get you the updates, what's going on here. The weekly pays. This is that weekly section. These normally pay on Tuesdays, the report that's coming out. But Roundhill just sent us the distributions for the weekly pays. We get this ahead of time, and then everyone else goes ahead. They update the websites and so on. So we're able to get this information early. They have 14 out of the 15 ETFs. This fund has an increase in dividends this week. It is amazing what we're going to see. And the percentage of the increases are from 4.3% to 129% increase in dividends for this week alone. It has been a rocketing week. Big profits for us dividend investors, huge opportunities for anyone. And today, truthfully, is the last day that you're going to be able to buy this stuff and still get these dividends. So let me show you what the report actually looks like, and then we'll break it down individually. First off, if you take a look at this, these are all X dates of 8/18. So that means today is the last day that we can actually buy these. The pay dates will be 8/19. But when we go down and look at these, some of the more popular stocks, and one that I've talked about quite a bit, is HOOW. Is going to pay $2.45 this week alone. This is huge. This is a huge advantage that we're talking about right now, is that we're going to be able to get $2.45 per share. That goes up from $1.59 of just last week. We take a look at some other ones. PLTW, the Pelter, 1.58, $1.58 in dividends this week. There are so many of these to talk about. MSTW. How many of you are struggling with your MSTR inventory? The MSTW, that's I know is brand new, that everyone's talked about. This is going to be the stock of the future. This is going to be the ETF of MSTR, $1.39 payout this week. Another big one, the coin, COIW. We just did a Rex shares, and they were paying about 12 cents. These guys are paying $1.07. They're just knocking it out of the park this week. So a lot of information out there, and we're going to break it down hopefully a little easier for you. So let's take a look. So we're going to do a comparison right now, and really the winner this week is that Pelter, PLTW. Last week paid 69 cents. This week, $1.59. That's a 90-cent increase, or 129.85% increase in dividend alone. Remarkable. The next one, GOOW, Google, the weekly pay went from 35 cents up to 80 cents. That's a 45-cent gain. That's almost like getting 2 dividend payments in 1 week, up 128.89%. Then third place, AMD, the AMDW, the weekly pay, the chip maker, from 50 cents to $1.14. Amazing, 64 cents increase to 127.05%. And then the other big one that's in the 100% range, and that is going to be AVGO. And that is going to from 53 cents to $1.17 for a 64-cent increase to a 120.83% gain. This is amazing at what they've actually done in these new, definitely in the new funds and in what's going on. So some of the other ones that we can take a serious look at, I know these are going to be high numbers. The Tesla fund still at 85%. Netflix 84%. The one that I love so much is HOOW, that one that's paying that $2.46 this week, is up 54% over last week, an 87-cent gain over week over week. So these things have made some major changes to their averages. They've done some big changes. And then MSTW, the MSTR, look what we said there, 86 cents to 139, a 53-cent gain, 62% growth on that one. There's a lot of information here, guys, that are going to be paying some big dividends. And the question is, what are we going to do? If today is the time to buy, well, let's take a look at how we want to get involved into this. And we start taking a look at this was all pre-market stuff. And I know by the time this video gets out, the markets will have changed completely. But we'll take a look at the performance so far from August 8th, when we just did our last report, to August 15th already. And we're seeing some big changes. The Apple Play is up 19% this week, up to 39. I also marked the Tesla one is up 11%. Both of these are ones that we've talked about over and over on this channel, that they're making huge strides. The Tesla one is starting to find its way back up to the good graces. Is it time to buy TSLY or TSLW? I believe it's been time to buy probably the past 2 weeks, plus getting great dividends. It's a great buy right now. Same thing with the Apple. We go to the PLTW that has been struggling. They're starting to recover again. They're back up 15% this week alone. So very strong there. And we can, again, I'm not just going to keep hounding it, but it's HOOW. The Robinhood Fund is up 9% this week, plus the largest dividend payout yet of $2.46. But the two that I'm really concerned about and I really wanted to look at, and that is MSTW and MSFW, the Microsoft and then the MSTR weekly pays. Both of these, when I started at the pre start, is they're both down. They're down 2% equally. But they're still paying great big dividends. So I started thinking, is MSTW time to buy MSTR? Is it time to get involved in this fund? Or is it still too early? Let it sit and let it simmer some more. And that's the question I have out there right now. Should we buy or should we not buy? So we're going to take some serious looks at these things and give you an idea of where we're sitting. And let's take a look at it. MSTW with their dividend announcement. So August 4th, they paid 86, August 11th, 79, and this week $1.39. That gives you a dividend average of $1.01. Now at that $41.25 price point, with this kind of a average, this is a return on your investment is only 42 weeks. So as long as we show that the dividends are continuing to hold, which at $1.01 seems like they're going to be able to, anything below this $41 price is you're going to cut into it. It's going to be less than a year. We're going to be less than a year and you're going to have all your funds back of MSTW and still have, you got all your money back, plus you still own the stocks and the fund. It's kind of one of those brainless type situations that, why would I not buy into this right now? Even if this thing drops off, we're going to be money ahead. But again, I'm not giving you advice. I'm just looking at the numbers, what the numbers are telling us. And if this thing continues to drop below the $41 price, it's going to get even better and better. Let's take a look at the next one, PLTW. And we see this one has, since the April 2nd, has slowly climbed. It's in a little bit downward trend here. But overall, it's paying 70 cents. $1.14, and then this week $1.58, a steady flow of income. Now, because this one's been paying for a lot longer, there's been a lot different dividends out there, and their average is 58 cents per week. Now, you take a look at that to what we just paid. That's over $1 increase just this week alone. So everything in the past 3 weeks have been increases over their actual average. So at the $51.65 range, this thing comes in at 89 weeks of return. So in 89 weeks, that's basically about a year and a half, you're going to have all your funds back in your pocket at 51.65. So very solid one there. Another one we're going to take a look at is HOOW. Now I know I just did a video on this one. Probably was premature until I got this next dividend report. But basically, look at what they've done. They've had one bad off at 83 cents on August 4th. They came back with $1.58. They've come back to $2.46. Now this average price is now up to $1.29. If you haven't seen the video that I just put out yesterday, was basically who can compete with ULTY for income. And that was the thing that got, I saw a lot of comments about this, and I know a lot of people talked about it. They are two different platforms, ULTY versus HOOW. But we're just purely looking at income. Who's going to pay, us the most money week in, week out? And when you take a look at the stock price of ULTY right now, about $6 a piece, okay, and HOOW is about $70. That's still in ball game about 12 times difference. So now the averages between the two, ULTY paying 10 cents, these guys paying 12.29, the averages are starting to balance out. So both of the funds are equal to each other, and you got some great growth. Now the trick of this is if you can buy it under $70, I preset my Charles Schwab buying package. Anything under $70, we're picking up some extra shares. We don't pick up a lot. We don't have a lot of cash to do this with, but we do pick up some shares to constantly gain to get the advantage. The return on investment on this one at $70 is 54 weeks. So doing a very solid piece. Again, I don't want it to sound like I'm hounding and pushing for one particular stock or one particular fund. What I want to do, though, is open everyone's eyes up to say, hey, there are other income opportunities out here. And that's what we're here for, to give you these opportunities to say, hey, if I could buy something, put it in my retirement account, collect a weekly paycheck from it, why not let it sit and relax? And right now, this thing's saying in 54 weeks, I'd have all my money back and off to other adventures and still be able to collect a nice dividend. Very strong piece there. Let's look at the AAPW. Now, this one here is getting me very interested, is what's going on. Is, this stock is taken off because of all the deals that they're doing, everything that they're changing. Their tariffs are getting reorganized. They're dealing and they're negotiating with the government, and they're getting where it's at. Look at the rocket this thing's been on, up to $39 a share. This was almost a $59 a share just earlier this year. So there's a lot of leg room to run once they get their stuff figured out, and that we're starting to see it happening. 23 cents in August, 23 cents on the 11th, and they just virtually over doubled it at 48 cents this week alone because of the volatility that's out there. Their dividend is now an averaging 27 cents at the $39 price point. The average is 144 weeks. Not as exciting as the other three I just showed you, but definitely what I'm looking at is where has some possibility of getting some up growth in the price of the stock or in the price of the fund, plus getting a great dividend on a regular basis. And the next one we'll talk about is Tesla. And this one here, as I've always said, is it's all news driven. Tesla is heavily news driven, good news, bad news, every which way. And we take a look at, they were 30 cents, then 59, and then now 85 cents for this upcoming week, giving them an average of 43 cents. At that $33 price point, we're putting it in at 77 weeks to break even. Again, not exciting, but Tesla is one of these. We've been talking about it. We've been saying too, we've been watching this. The numbers are going up, the value's going up, the growth of the fund's going up, and it has. So hopefully some of you have jumped on this and gained the growth and now gaining some great dividends. And our final one that we put out there is COIW. Now I put this out there because I just did a review that's out there today of Rex shares. And one of the funds that Rex shares has is COII. And why I bring this up is to give you a comparison of what Rex Shares is doing to a Roundhill doing. To give you a better idea is maybe one fund's better than another, or maybe there's growth in one and not in another. So I wanted to do this one here, and we'll probably end up doing another video to just give you a comparison with all the coin funds. But just so you know up front, I'm going to tell you, COII, the Rex Shares COII, this week paid 12 cents in dividends. And quite frankly, I think I said that in the video. That is embarrassing. COIW is paying 58 cents, 33 cents, and $1.07 this week. That's pretty darn good compared to a 12-cent that another fund is doing. This one that's doing the same exact thing. They're able to squeeze out more money from it. Their average is now up to 52 cents. The return on investment is 83 weeks at the $33 price, $33.47 price. But my point of COIW is right here. If I can go to one fund, get 12 cents, I go to another fund, maybe get 30 cents. This one here, I'm getting 52 cents. My God, I would have my money over here probably just as quick. Then I have to take a look at what the dollar amount will be in the investment. But overall, I think Roundhill's really killing it with the coin package. So just another quick show up and showing you guys, hey, these are popular ones. I know it's out there with the viewers, so we want to make sure you guys are up to date on this. So guys, I know it's a quick video, but this is Doug, the retirement guy. If you like what we're doing, give us that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, this is what we do. We constantly give you information to help you grow your pocketbook. Hit that subscribe, costs you nothing. Leave a comment. Tell us what you guys think. I know we're rushing things along, but I wanted to get this out there because today is the day. If you want to buy, get the buy. And then if you can support the channel, hit that Patreon button. There's a lot of information behind the scenes, and you can get that for free. Or you can be a Patreon supporter, and we'll love you for it. Guys, have a great week. We'll talk to you next weekend.